Got a Prizepicks 6-pick flex that I did barely just lock in, that I did just send over to my VIP members that I'm going to be sharing with you guys for free here on the channel. Today, we're going to be talking some WNBA, some MLB props. In this one, breaking it down, giving you guys the exact process that goes into every single one of my picks, every single one of my tickets. We have a beautifully constructed ticket here with a lot of positive correlation, a lot of good value. We'll break down exactly why that is the case. If you have not signed up for Prizepicks, go ahead and use the promo code KJKDFS when you sign up today, guys. They will match your first deposit all the way up to $100 with that promo code KJKDFS. And if you are listening, you're like, this guy knows what he's talking about. I want access to every single one of his plays, and you want to get access to my plays before they get bumped, removed, and all the above, because that happens every single day on Prizepicks. When you get good value, you're going to want to check out the Patreon. That is going to be linked below in the description of the video. I'll also comment it and pin it as the top comment, so you should be able to find the link nice and easy. So without further ado, let's get into the breakdown. Break down exactly what goes into these plays, guys. The process, the same process that goes into every single one of my plays. If you head on over to the YouTube community page and you hear me talk about my winning tickets of the NBA, the WNBA, etc., this is the process. These are free videos with picks that I am actually playing. You're never going to hear me promote plays that I'm not actually playing, and the full process that goes into them to let you know exactly what goes into it, give you a sneak peek, and obviously show you that it works and help you out for free is the goal here. And then, like I said, if you're getting serious, the VIP is going to be where it's at. I think the best possible way to show you that it's legit, that I know what I'm talking about, is to give you actual plays that I'm playing in these videos, break them down for you. You can see the results for themselves. Obviously, there's a lot of different resources out there in that, a lot of different people telling you they know what they're talking about, so I understand. It's nice to show you up front that I truly do. Let's talk about it. We'll talk about the WNBA action first here. We got a nice 3-gamer here tonight in the WNBA, and we got some good plays in this first game, like I said, with max correlation. So what do I mean by that? Correlation, if one thing happens, the other thing is going to happen, right? We're maximizing our upside for a full sweep here in this 6-pick flex. You'll hear me talk about it often. All 3 of these plays here in McCowan, Wnba, and Monique Billings have good value. What do I mean by have good value? Well, there are sports books that set lines every single day on player props with millions of dollars invested that tell us exactly the odds of a certain prop hitting, right? So I was going to start things off with Plum. We'll actually start things off with these 3 ladies because I want to make it clear that this ticket just has really good correlation. We're going to use the tool that I use every day, the Daily Guide Fantasy Optimizer, guys. This is a tool that's going to bring in the sportsbook data for you, break it down exactly the odds of a pick hitting, and what goes into the percentage here is these Vegas lines, the FanDuels, the DraftKings sportsbooks, etc., with the millions of dollars of data, right? It's streamlined into this optimizer for us. So we'll talk about Tyra McCowan real quick here. Let's pull her up. Boom. As far as her props on the board, the best possible prop you could take for her is going to be her over 8.5 rebounds. Why is that, guys? Because these millions of dollars of sports books are all favoriting her over. She is minus 140 on FanDuel. For those of you that don't know what that means, I think the easiest way to explain it is to use even numbers. And the easiest example is the $100 number. So in this case, they're saying it is such a good chance that Tyra McCowan goes over the 8.5 rebounds that you're going to have to risk $140 to win 100. Why is this valuable? So, people in the comments or people that are starting sports betting might ask things. These are the questions I get. Do you watch the games? Do you do research, etc., etc., etc.? This is literally the best possible version of research you can really do. There are some different things, right? Like some injury news, etc. If there were players questionable in this game, these lines can change rapidly. But we already have confirmation on all the injuries. Jaylen Brown's out, Natasha Howard's out, and Sabally are all out for Dallas. There's no more pending injury news for them, right? So these lines are going to be locked into the expected lineup, the expected roster here. So we're not too worried about these lines shifting too crazy on us. We got McCowan projected to go out there and play right around 30 minutes, 27 minutes or so. And she's she's a center, right? So she's going to start at the center position, down low in the paint. Obviously going to be a spot that we want her to be if she's going to be grabbing rebounds. Like, it just all makes sense, and the Vegas data backs it up for us here, right? So on the season, she's expected to, as far as projections are concerned, these are all factored in, to average 10 rebounds per game. Her actual stats so far, she's averaging 8.8. She's a 6'7" center, guys. So she's very tall, all right? These are all factored in the odds. Once again, all of this stuff that you're hearing me talk about, this is why I say if you just look at the market data, it's streamlining all this research for you into market data and odds, all right? So it's essentially doing all this for us with the millions of dollars that they have. If you think you're smarter than the sports books, I'll make your hunt for that very short, because you're not. You're just not smarter than them, all right? So use this data to our advantage. The over 8.5 rebounds for McCowan's going to be a great play here, right? And then we're going to correlate it. So I talked about this concept, right? All three of these ladies are on the same team, right? So we're going to talk about McCowan, Billings, and Wnba. Wnba is the point guard. Billings is the other forward here. Their lines are going to be set appropriately. Both Wnba and Billings have good value on their under rebounds. So we'll start things off with Enrique here. We'll go ahead and put her into the GGF optimizer real quick and see her top props. You can see second best prop on the board apparently now is the Wnba under 4.5 rebounds. Sorry, I had the wrong screen pulled up there, but the under 4.5 rebounds is going to be her second best prop. Why is this? Well, the DGF optimizer is pulling in two data sets right now. Minus 132 on the under on FanDuel, minus 145 on the under on Fliff. They're putting all that into a odds to hit with a 53.14% hit rate. And if we go ahead and pull up the OddsJam Sportsbook screen, this is another tool you'll hear me talk about all the time. This is the same concept of the market data we're talking about. However, it's every single sportsbook that you could possibly want to be looking at for data. So I would highly recommend you use this tool when you're looking to get more detailed. Promo code KJKDFS will get 35% off this tool. If you're looking at OddsJam, I have that link below in the description. Promo code KJKDFS will get 25% off that DGF. I have that link below in the description. And this is what we're looking at, right? Look at all of these markets. Minus 132 on the under on FanDuel, right? Minus 132 on the under on BallyBet. Minus 132 on the under on BetRivers. Minus 143 on the under on Sleeper. Minus 165 on Topeka, which is crazy. So you'd have to risk $165 to win 100 on the under over there. Every single one of these markets is saying there's a very high chance she's going to end up with 4 rebounds or less. Okay? And then once again, the correlation. We're targeting the over on McCowan. We want her to be getting all the rebounds. We don't want her teammates to be getting the rebounds. And last but not least, the other player that we're looking for her to not get rebounds is going to be Monique Billings. And shocker, there's going to be good value on this play, right? If we go ahead and pull her up on the DGF optimizer. All this optimizer is doing, guys, is it's streamlining the data for us and comparing it to Prizepicks to make it faster for us to find props, all right? Which is very valuable, but just like that's the concept here. Minus 130 on the under on DraftKings, minus 125 on the under on FanDuel, right? So both of those sportsbooks saying there's a good chance she's going to stay under here. If we want to get more detailed again, let's scan the whole market here on OddsJam. Let's see if there's any more data points telling us that this is a good play here tonight. And we've got minus 125 on the under on FanDuel, minus 130. Those are the ones we talked about. She's all the way to 130 on Sleeper, minus 140 on Topeka once again. So they're putting some heavy juice on her under, minus 132 on the under on Desert Diamond, minus 135 on the under on Hard Rock. Like every single one of these sports books, keep in mind, we're getting minus 119 in a 5 and 6 pick flex on Prizepicks. So we're getting really good bang for our buck. Think of it as you're going to the grocery store and you're shopping for the best price. That's what we're doing here, okay? So we got a couple of good things going for us in this ticket construction here with these three. One, all three of them have good value on all these sports books, right, with those millions of dollars invested. And two, we're putting them in the same ticket so that when McCowan has a lot of rebounds, her teammates can't grab them. It just makes sense. We're going for the 6 out of 6 sweep here. So we're correlating these plays together. If one thing happens, the other thing is more likely to happen. If McCowan goes and grabs 10 rebounds, it's more likely that the other two players on her team in Wnba and Billings are not going to grab as many rebounds, which once again is all factored in the odds. We're using the odds and then we're constructing it. Since Prizepicks is an app, we have to put in 6 different plays on our 6 pick flexes. We're constructing the ticket to give us the best chance to go 6 for 6. So hopefully that all makes sense. Good example of this is going to be McCowan's game against the Aces here, where she got 15 rebounds on June 5th, right? So we look at that game log against the Aces. She had 15. We pull up Wnba in that same game against the Aces. She ended with 4, so she stayed under because of those McCowan rebounds. And then Monique Billings in that same game against the Aces ended with 6 rebounds. So that's the exact game script we're going for in this one. We want that same thing to happen here. And the odds all reflect that that is anticipated to happen, all right? So those would be our first 3, like I talked about, the correlation and the value. And then our other one's going to be Kelsey Plum in the WNBA tonight. massive value on this prop. I already know I pulled it up on the DGF optimizer to start this video out, but I mean, this is one of the best possible props on the board. It's all the way up to minus 160 now on the over 4.5 on FanDuel. That is ridiculous, guys. This prop is definitely going to get bumped. I hope it doesn't get bumped before this video gets out, but that is why I have the VIP service, because good props are going to get bumped every single day. So minus 160 on the over, that is insane value, guys. Remember, we're getting minus 119 in a 5 or 6 pick flex on Prizepicks. So, like, I mean, this is just an insanely good prop on the 4.5 assist here tonight for Kelsey Plum. Minus 160 on the over on FanDuel. Once again, you'd have to risk $160. We're getting minus 119, essentially risking 119 to win $100 in these 5 and 6 pick flexes. That's how the odds break down. Minus 148 on the over on Bet Rivers. Minus 148 on the over on Bally Bet. All of these different sports books. She's all the way up to 5.5 on DraftKings. There's juice on the under. But an entire assist difference is a really big deal in these markets. They're very precise. 5.5 on Hard Rock. So there's all of these different sports books telling us that the over 4.5 is just an insanely good play on Prizepicks here tonight. Okay, so those are going to be our first 4 picks on the WNBA portion of the video. And then the next 2, as you can see, are going to be 2 MLB picks. We have Freddie Freeman and Teoscar Hernandez. Once again, these are going to be positively correlated. We have the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for Freeman and the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for Teoscar Hernandez. Both of these are going to have good value. If we go ahead and we pull up the OddsJam Sportsbook screen here once again, we can head on over to the MLB action. Let's go ahead and type in the hits, runs, on RBIs prop. And we can see our first guy is going to be Freddie Freeman. And as far as the odds on him across the market here tonight, tons of different sportsbooks favoriting his over here. All right. He is all the way up to minus 135 on the over on DraftKings, minus 161 on Sleeper. Like, that's insane. Minus 130 on the over on 365, minus 135 on the over on Bet99, minus 144 on Parlay Play, which is another DFS sports app. You'd have to go all the way up to minus 144 over there when we're getting minus 119 on Prizepicks, right? So we're getting good bang for our buck there. And then we pull in Teoscar Hernandez. Once again, minus 135 on the over on DraftKings, minus 145 on the over on Sleeper once again. So we're getting just such a better deal on Prizepicks than Sleeper, minus 145 on the over on Fliff. All of these different apps. And then we look at the underlying metrics for these guys. We can look at the run total, all that fun stuff. The Dodgers come in with a 4.96 implied run total. So they're expected to put up a lot of runs here. And Freeman's going to hit in the 3 spot. Teoscar Hernandez is going to hit in the 5 spot. The correlation that I'm talking about with the rebounds of getting the over on McCowan and the under on those other ladies is going to apply to these 2 tickets. I'm sorry, these 2 plays as well, right? Because if the Dodgers put up a lot of runs, Freddie Freeman hits a single, right, gets on base, and then Teoscar Hernandez hits him in, they're both going to hit their over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Freeman got the hit to get on base, and then Hernandez hit him in for the RBI, the hit, so he's got 2, and then Freeman scores the run, he's got 2. So the fact that we can put both these in the same ticket's really good. They're taking on Michael Lorenzen. This Dodgers lineup's stacked. We want good lineups. We want them to hit as many times as possible up and down the lineup. And both these guys are red hot. 248 ISO on the season for Freeman, 223, 367 weighted on base average, 433 weighted on base average. And Michael Lorenzen is a very underwhelming pitcher. I mean, respectable, but he doesn't really strike anyone out too much. 14%, 23%. He's got a walk issue, which is going to load the bases up a ton and have opportunities for this Dodgers lineup to hit up and down. He's just pretty mediocre. And that's going to be an issue when you look at all this green for this Dodgers lineup. They're really good. And then once again, the 4.96 implied run total, if they're expected to put up 5 runs, there's a good chance there's going to be some production from the number 3 and the number 5 hitters in the heart of this lineup. So we got market data backing us up, Vegas data, all of these different things, telling us that these are good plays. All right. So that's the first 6 pick flex that I locked in here, sharing it with you for free here on the channel here today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you did, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Hopefully this is helpful as to what goes into my process. Once again, hopefully these plays are still available when I upload them. If they get bumped or removed or any of that crazy stuff happens, I apologize, but I can't control it and it's not my fault. It's just when you get good value on these apps, that's what happens. So this is where you're going to want to go if you're sick of not being able to lock in the props with me. If that happens, I apologize. but you're only going to see me promote plays that I'm actually playing, and I'm going to break them down for you so you get an understanding of what goes into it. You know, it's not BS. You can have some confidence that the guy that you're listening to kind of knows what he's talking about. And then if you want to take it to the next level, that's where it's going to be at over there. Hopefully that all makes sense for you. Thanks for tuning in. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks Wnba and MLB player props tonight, and we will see you in the next one.